I'm Jen Smith, and this is Launch Your Rocket. Welcome to the truth behind the trend. You know, the world is obsessed with science-backed self-help. But here's the secret. So much of it isn't new. It's just repackaged biblical wisdom, worldly packaged biblical wisdom. And each week we're going to take the latest self-help advice and we're going to put it to the test. And we're going to reveal the deeper truth straight from the actual source. So let's dive in. I can't think of a better place to start than with the let them theory or the let them trend. It's a popular podcast right now, right? Most of you have probably heard of it. It says, let them disappoint you. Let them reveal who they truly are. Let them make their own choices and then you decide. I mean, it's everywhere. And listen, I get it. There is wisdom in this. It's meant to help people release control and stop forcing things. But something about it just feels off because this theory is close to the truth, which actually makes it more dangerous. Well, why? Because some people are taking it and stopping short of what actually transforms lives. So today we're going to break it down. What if we didn't just, let them? What if we chose to love them, forgive them, pray for them instead? You know, one is operating on the world's model and one is operating on God's model. One says, protect yourself, cut people off, don't let them hurt you again. Let them walk away if they don't value you. And you know what? It sounds reasonable. It's all about boundaries and self-preservation. And don't get me wrong, boundaries are good. I'm not saying you let toxic people trample all over you. But here's the problem. The world's model leaves out something crucial. Love. And not the easy, feel-good kind. The kind of love that transforms hearts, including your own. God's model is different. It doesn't just say, let them do that. It says, love them when you don't meet their expectations. It says, forgive them when they hurt you. Pray for them when they don't deserve it. You know, Jesus in Matthew says, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And that's not a suggestion, that's a command. Choosing to love, forgive, and pray for someone who's hurt you is hard. But the truth is, do what's easy the world's way, and life will be hard. Do what's hard, and life will be easy. When you choose to love, forgive, and pray, you're not just freeing the other person, you're freeing yourself. Have you ever been mad at someone and they're just out there living their best life? Meanwhile, you're sitting there all bitter, replaying the moment in your head, letting it ruin your mood? Yeah, that's what unforgiveness does to you. Bitterness, that just weighs you down. Resentment keeps you stuck, and the let them theory can keep you there. But when you choose to love them or forgive them, you're the one who feels lighter. So whose model do you want to follow? Whose model are you following? The world's, which says, just let them, which could lead to grudges, or God's way, who calls us to love them even when it's hard. Subtle, but very different. So what would it look like to love them? Well, loving someone doesn't mean agreeing with their choices or letting them walk all over you. It just means treating them with kindness and grace, even when they don't deserve it. Have you ever had a coworker? You know the one, they're rude, short with you, passive-aggressive at emails, and your instinct is to either snap back or avoid them altogether. But what if you just responded with kindness? What if instead of rolling our eyes, we said, good morning, hope you're having a great day, and sincerely, not passive-aggressively? You know, what if they're carrying something heavy that you don't even know about? Your response is not about them, really. It's for you. It releases you. How about forgiving people? Forgiving isn't excusing someone's actions. It's releasing the hold that their actions have on your heart. Colossians 3:13 says, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And let's be honest, we've all done things that need forgiving. Plus, forgiveness is for you. It's how you move forward. Let it go. Let them? No, we're loving them. Pray for them. Now, that's one. That's a kicker. Praying for someone who's hurt you? Oof. It's one thing to say, fine, I won't hold a grudge. I'll love them in the corner of my own heart. It's another thing to say, God, I pray blessing over them. But let me tell you, this will change your heart. This is hard, especially in the beginning. I don't care if you pray this, God, I don't really want to pray for them, but I'm doing it anyway. And you know what? It will shift you. When you pray for someone, you stop seeing them as the enemy and you start seeing them as someone who also needs grace and healing. Trust me, it happens. There's a ripple effect when you choose to love, forgive, and pray for others. You don't just shift your heart, you shift the entire atmosphere around you. Just think about that. When you walk into a room full of anger and bitterness, you can feel that tension. But when you walk into a room where someone emits love and grace and peace, the entire space feels different. And the best part is when you live in this way, you inspire others to do the same. Your life becomes a light, drawing in people and the things that you're seeking. You become someone who points people to something greater. So how do we start doing this? How do we actually start living like this? Well, here's just a few steps. First, take inventory. Who are you struggling to love right now or forgive? Write their name down. Pray first. Ask God to soften your heart and help you make this shift to see them through His eyes and not your feelings. And then take some action. Love them in a tangible way. Maybe it's a small act of service or a kind word, or just simply choosing not to speak negatively about them. Maybe that's just where you start. And let's be clear. This isn't about letting people walk all over you. I know I've said that, but it's important. It's about aligning your heart with God and letting Him work through you and let Him work with them. So in closing, the world says let them. I challenge us to love them, forgive them, and pray for them. It's simple, but it's certainly not easy, and that's the point. The greatest transformations in life come when we do the hard things, the intentional things, when we follow God's model instead of the world's. The world's model is easy. So this week, ask yourself, whose model am I following, the world's or God's, and which one do I want to follow? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found any value in this, please subscribe or like, share it with a friend who might find some value. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Launch Your Rocket. You can also find me at launchyourrocket.com and join the community there. I have a show 4 days a week called Elevate, how you can elevate your life to live this most abundant, vibrant life. And I have another show on the weekends called Weekend Wisdom, where we just break down little pieces of truth for the new believer. I hope to start engaging you on one or all of my shows. Thank you again for joining. I am really grateful you're here.